Hello community, let's look at the latest ChatGPT o1 model. I have here a lot of archive description here from AI Research Project, and as you can see here, number 70, we have a title, we have the author, we have here the subject, and then we have a short technical abstract about the content of this paper. And now I just told the system, hey, try to cluster this. And here o1 sought for 26 seconds, as you can see this here, and came back and said, hey, beautiful, so primary subject area, secondary subject area. And I thought there's something strange with this. And I looked at this and I noticed this is plain wrong. So o1 did not get it. Therefore, I just waited, just want to show you here that you see that it is indeed o1. This is the recording because I ran out of quota for o1, so I'm running now here in the recording here on ChatGPT 4 Omni, but never mind. Now, you know here under posts, more or less every day I post here for you my personal selection of the most interesting AI research paper that were published on this particular date. So you see quite a lot of things, but it is getting complicated. Have a look at this. Look, here we have a Lagrange duality and a compound multi-attention transformer for a semi-supervised medical image segmentation. Now, if I would give you the topic here, cluster this, what would be the cluster structure? Would you go with medical image segmentation? Would you go with healthcare? Would you go with vision technology? Would you go with a hybrid convolutional neural network and a vision transformer? Would you go here with a Lagrange duality consistency loss function? Would you go here with the long tail problem? Would you put this here more or less to the UNet and transformer architecture comparison? Would you say, hey, we are dealing here now with cross attention blocks and not with self attention blocks? Would you go, and you see the complexity is really amazing. So if we get this paper, you have an idea, if you are a little bit experienced, how you would put this in different clusters. But if you have 70 of those papers here, then it gets interesting, because find the minimal set of cluster that include 70 different scientific publications. And this is a text that did not exist 2 days ago. This is here September 12th. This is for me recording today. So therefore, this is a text not known to any LLM, not known in any pre-training dataset, in this complexity, in this wording, in this composition, in this architecture. So this is some new unseen text, and now I want to know, is the new OpenAI Omni 1 version able to do here a clustering? Let's have a look. And I said, hey, how many papers did you identify in my text, given the title and the tech abstract? And it came back and said, hey, I identified, o1, 8 papers in your text. And I said, wrong. And then o1 thought for 7 seconds and comes back and says, hey, I apologize for the oversight. After reviewing the text again, I realized that there are a total of 70 papers in your text, each with a title and a technical abstract. And I say, correct. Now, can I show you the model? o1, do the thematic clustering of their topics, all 70. How to cluster? Easy. I have a notebook. I coded this 3 years ago in this video on my channel. This is the vector space. Here you see from 125 AI papers here, the cluster structure in this vector space. And now we do it without coding. So now this took some time. Look, sort for 117 seconds. This is close to 2 minutes, and I thought the system just crashed. I was just waiting and nothing happened at all. But after 2 minutes it came back and it had a thematic clustering. This was amazing. So it's okay, certainly, based on the provided list of 70 papers, here's the thematic clustering of their topics. And now OpenAI o1, Omni 1 says, Top 1 cluster artificial intelligence in healthcare and medical application. And I have to tell you this is correct, because what I read now every day on new AI research, healthcare and medical is the dominant topic of real-world application of AI. And it gives you here the number of the paper, it gives you here the title here. And as you can see, this is really, because I had to read those 70 papers, this is really here the papers and this is the correct title. And then it comes back and says, hey, second cluster identified is the language model and the natural language processing. Large LLMs and their application. Neurosymbolic natural language navigational planner. Explain, debate, align, evaluating agents and setting up. Database for evaluating LLM-based evaluation. Function calling, policy filtration for reinforcement learning from human feedback, fine-tuning LLM. You see, nice. Then, third cluster is federated learning and privacy. Papers focus here on federated learning techniques, personalization and privacy concerns. And yeah, indeed, those are the papers that I also have seen. Fourth cluster, reinforcement learning and multi-agent system. Yes, multi-agent, you know this, I have a lot of videos on this. And then artificial intelligence in education. And I was surprised because I remember I have read these papers, my grade is wrong, in elementary school students and teacher perception toward mathematical writing with generative AI. But in my mind, it was that this is such an important cluster. Personal knowledge tracing, yes, okay. And then cluster 6, ethics, fairness, and social impact. And yeah, absolutely. And you see already here, cyber deception and. So you have a lot of intermixed topic where the same paper can also be listed somewhere else, but it did an extreme, well-reasoned job to position the paper here in those clusters. And I have not told anything about the clustering algorithm or anything else to OpenAI. 01. 7, AI material science, scientific discovery, protein bench, yes. Material search with AI, yes. Cluster 8 is computer vision and image processing. Interesting. 9 is robotics and autonomous system. So you get a good idea what happened on this particular date in AI research. What are the hot topics? 10, machine learning and theoretical AI. I've never seen the term theoretical AI, the theoretical aspects of AI. But yeah, absolutely, yeah. System requirements, engineering, absolutely nice. Then AI in gaming and game theory, correct. Recommender system and data visualization. Then we have one publication in AI and law and legal system on this particular day only. And then we had AI security and cybersecurity. And then we had here the rest, if you want, other applications and theoretical explorations. So you see, this thematic clustering groups 70 papers into relevant topics based on their primary research area, highlighting the diverse application and exploration within the field of AI. So I have to say, my little O1 model, yes, I personally, having read those papers, and some papers in detail, but some papers I missed out on some of the chapters, like here, the implementation or some guidelines or some ethical concerns. Would I have chosen the same topics? I don't know. But I can tell you, I think this is an extreme, well-placed clustering. Okay, and you know me, I'm not a nice person. I say, hey, can you explain the main technical or methodological insight of each cluster? Try now. And now I know that you simply have to wait. So after 34 seconds, O1 comes back and says, hey, certainly, can I have a look here, by the way? Yeah. Nice recording. Refining my approach, evaluating technical insights. I explore how AI is transforming healthcare. This was topic number 1, advancing in medical AI, enhancing and evaluating, reinforcement learning, educational AI, fairness, ethics, cyber deception, scientific discovery, computer vision, robotic control. You see all the topics that we just had in our clusters. Investigating AI advancement, AI in gaming, improving AI system here, law, recommender system, transparency, fairness, data visualization. I'm digging into 2 significant aspects, cyber deception and federated learning, privacy. Certainly, below I will explain the main technical methodological insights of each cluster. summarizing the key contribution and approaches common to the paper within each group. Now, this is real nice, especially have a look at the details. So again, we have our cluster 1, AI and healthcare medical application. And now it makes really a deep dive. Key insights include deep learning for medical imaging, convolutional neural network transformer architecture, enhanced medical image analysis, tasks like image segmentation, super resolution, anomaly detection in MRI and CT scans, ultrasound images. And then it refers here to the particular paper, what they do here. Then benchmarking, evaluation frameworks, here this paper, personalized modeling and knowledge training. This paper, real nice. I went through this and I say, yeah, it fits with my understanding. Methodological advancement, designing neural network architecture that are specifically adapted to medical image characteristics, incorporating domain-specific knowledge or constraints, data augmentation, synthetic data generation, cross-model learning. And then cluster number 2, language model, main technological or methodological insights. It is amazing what this system did in just 2 minutes. Cluster number 3, I just scroll through. If you want to read it, you can read it, no problem at all. I just want to show you that it is really absolutely here listing the papers and the processes. Reinforcement learning and multi-agent system. I'm particularly interested in multi-agent system and in reinforcement of those model system. Real nice. Game balance prediction, meta-learning, social emergence of multi-agent systems, neural algorithmic reasoning, policy optimization techniques. This is just from 1 day. Upper bound training, emergent behavior modeling. Cluster number 5, AI in education. Okay. Cluster 6, ethics, fairness, societal impact, bias detection, belief revision, cyber deception, security. What are the measurements, methods? AI in material science and scientific discovery. So nice. Yes, absolutely. Protein bench, evaluating protein foundation models. It's unbelievable the complexity that AI is entering now here in the cross-disciplinary area. Yes, cluster 8, computer vision, image processing. This is the research from 1 day only. Cluster 9, robotics, autonomous system. It really got the main point. There are some nuances maybe missing, but for this amount of time that it had, and as you can see, this is just one output prompt, I was really impressed with this. Machine learning methods and theoretical AI, cluster number 10, generative AI and software engineering, overview, knowledge transfer, transfer learning. We just go on, AI in gaming and game theory, recommender systems and data visualization. I think you get the idea. I just want to show you, it really did every single cluster. It analyzed it here really to a clear structure, to a clear logical model. It follows everything in place if you read this. And cluster number 15, any other application. So the rest is here accumulated. But even here, in a nice summary that you hardly find in this beautiful depth, so to show you O1. And now I said, hey, excellent, but now condense this information further. Provide the insights you judge important to know. So I want to understand if the O1 system from OpenAI is now judging, is now evaluating, what would O1 say is important from all this information that it provided. Just thought for 7 seconds. Close the link. Sifting through the insights, examining the influence. AI is shaping healthcare education, low, focusing on enhancing language model and reinforcement, multi-agent system. And it comes back and it then tells you cluster 1. Integration into... No, this is not cluster 1. Hold on a minute. This is not cluster 1. Key insights. Artificial intelligence is integrated into wider healthcare education, material science, law, gaming, and more. Yeah, Here, this is cluster 1, healthcare and medical applications, education. We have a new structure. Okay. Integration of AI into diverse domains. Nice. Advancement in natural language processing. Yeah. Generalization of alignment, learning optimization, domain-specific applications. Absolutely. Legal fact prediction. Wow. Evaluation and benchmarking. Yes, these were the topics. Then we have to focus on privacy, personalization, and federated learning. Yes, absolutely. You see a different structure. Nice. Reinforcement learning and multi-agent system. This we know already from the structure. Societal impact also. So interesting. Methodological innovation and machine learning. So it is cluster 6, but it has somehow changed. Key insight, a continuous effort to refine machine learning to improve efficiency, scalability, and adaptability. PAFT, scaling laws, multi-modal models, on-device training, tiny machine learning models, algorithmic reasoning, yeah. The enhancement in computer vision and image processing. Nice. Applications now in robotics and autonomous systems, medical robotics, active learning in robotics, autonomous vehicle evaluation. So it has changed its perspective, but it is still in the same category of clusters. Interdisciplinary, nice. Cross-disciplinary, advancement in model efficiency, real nice. As you can see, done by O1. And now, you know me, I'm not a nice person, and I put here now not 70 papers, but I added now 5 additional papers. And I thought, okay, so I upload now 75 scientific AI research preprint papers. So let's have a look. If it understands this, I want to see the timing. And will it put here those 5 papers in the existing clusters, or will it change and recalculate everything again to find a more stable configuration of maybe less clusters? So here we have our 75 documents. Yeah, beautiful. Just wait a minute, maybe some more minutes. Yeah. We do this in real time that you can see everything, every step that I thought, how I argued, what happened, how long I had to wait. Yeah, and then I said, hey, analyze the text for the thematic clusters. And then it thought only for 80 seconds, so not 2 minutes. So there was some kind of memory or something was learned. And I thought, this is interesting, but I don't know how it works internally. I'm waiting for the paper by OpenAI to explain here the internal mechanisms of Omni 1. Thematic clusters of the recent AI research papers. After providing a list of 83 research papers, it was a little bit more, we have grouped them into thematic clusters based on the primary research areas. Beautiful. Language model and NLP. Okay. Insights, optimization, instructional learning. Yeah, I looked at this in detail. I don't want to bore you with this. It did not change the amount of clusters, of thematic clusters. It did not change here the configuration of the clusters, but it simply added here those additional papers, like you see here, 72, for example. But these papers really fit into their topics. So I have chosen, unaware, that those papers that were published here on the exact same day, also on the topic of AI, really fit well in those established 15 clusters that O1 already built. So therefore, no new cluster, no new configuration, but it just added here some additional papers. But the wording, and I asked then GPT-4 Omni to compare the exact wording of both answers of Omni 1, and there were modifications. So it absolutely integrated the content in the cluster, and the cluster description changed a little bit, but really nicely done. So you see, this is the new answer. This is a new cluster topics if you want. But again, AI in law and legal systems, we only have here this paper here on the legal fact prediction. Also in the new papers, there was nothing here about legal. So really, really nice. So I think there you have it. This was here about clustering before I hit my quota. But I just wanted to show you what I did 3 years ago. It took me hours and hours, and I coded this in Python, and I had, I don't know, 5, 6 Jupyter notebooks. I had to go to building here the sentence transformer, building the tokenizer, building then here the vector space. From the vector space here, it was, I think, 1000 dimensions. I used UMAP to do a dimensionality reduction to a multi-dimensional vector space, and then I compressed it further to a 2-dimensional vector space and a 3-dimensional vector space. I showed you at the very beginning of this video. And now I just put the text here into Omni 1, and I get here a real nice clustering that makes sense to me. I've read these papers. This is really absolutely an acceptable clustering. So, real nice performance. Hey, try it out yourself, wherever yours, your domain, whatever you're doing professionally. I can just tell you, if you work a little bit in science here, and interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary AI research, theoretical physics, mathematics, a little bit of biology, wherever you are, this new instrument is really an intelligent tool that I for sure will use in my future work. And I'm waiting to explore it even more. I'm waiting that this will be, let's say, not anymore a preview version, but a real operational tool for my professional workday. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found some new ideas. I could show you something that might expect you in your professional career, and it would be great to see you in my next video.